Another day, another game guide. What's going on, everybody? We're here with some more predecessor content, and I am joined by Din and Wisdom. Say hello, fellas.
Yo.
Hello.
So today we have quite a bit to actually unwrap and go over. We're gonna take a look at the roadmap that was just released. I believe I think that all came out today. Serath's trailer also is out, and we're also gonna take a look at the patch notes that are finally out. This video is going to be a little bit a day. I'm going to try to get it out the day that all this stuff has now come out. We're going to see. If not, it's going to be the day after. It could be a lie. You heard it. It could be a lie. But at least it's going to be within a day. I can promise that much because it isn't too much for me to edit. It's more or less just rendering it realistically. I hope. Sag. Anywho, let's take a look at the roadmap for Season 3 of Predecessor. So here we have it in all its glory. Harness the storm. Alright, so the first thing we see here is we have Serath joining, and they are dedicating her as a jungle. I can't remember. I know, Din, you played Paragon, correct?
No, I didn't.
You didn't? Oh, so just me?
No.
Really?
I think so, homie.
Oh, well, damn.
Like, I watch a lot of videos of Paragon, but I never had to play it
Okay.
because my PC was trash.
Do you know?
Trash.
I think Wisdom knows a couple. Do you know any of like some of the other characters that were in Paragon that aren't in Predecessor currently?
I don't know.
Nope. All right, that's
Yeah.
fine. That's totally cool. So like,
Fair enough.
well, we're getting. I think it's next Tuesday, September. What is that? 12th, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, September 12th, we're going to officially have Season 3 come out regarding Serath. We're getting our new UI, and there is a couple little changes in the patch notes, which we're going to cover in a little bit here. There is a lot to look here. Holy hell. Okay, so we have exclusive EA Season 3 profile icons. Pretty cool. I'm hoping those are a little nice. We still have not got the Arc Greystone icons, by the way. Omeda, anytime you want to...
Wait, I forgot about those.
Right?
No, talking I haven't. We're still chomping at the bit.
Yeah, we're hoping that they take so long that they, give us both instead of just the one, because I didn't actually finish both quests.
Same.
Omeda?
I was off by one game.
You were. You should have just played that game out.
I know, I should have. Fine.
There's also going to be an exclusive meta hero profile icon, a season-themed common hero skin, a season-themed jump pad visual effect, which I'm looking forward to. I love little visual effects, things that they put into games for MOBAs.
Sounds hilarious.
Oh, it's going to be great. There's like Smite, for instance, has quite a bit of recall animations that they have given out to players. One of my favorite ones that I have in Smite is get good when I'm backing after I kill somebody. Best thing to do. It's just to troll whoever you're absolutely dominating in their lane or anyone that you just killed. Love that shit.
Fair enough.
Another season themed common hero skin. A season themed a recall as well. There we go. A recall visual effects. And we have a season 3 of them. Okay, we got 3 season-themed common hero skins that are going to be given out at the end of Season 3 once Season 3 is over with and Season 4 starts.
Except for the new VFX, everything is kind of the same from the last season, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, I think it's pretty similar. I'm not sure if you have a picture of the old...
I have I have at hand the what's the name? The roadmaps from other seasons.
Right.
And we also we're supposed to have our jump at VFX and recall this season. So I think it's basically the same thing.
Oh, so it's probably just the same thing, same rewards. I mean, that would make it easier for them if they just did that for the season rewards. Which, I mean, I'm okay with that. I like getting my free visual effects recalls and jump pad visual effects if I'm not paying money for it. Sweet. I don't mind. Whatever. So planned features that they have for Season 3 here. We have Hero Affinity. Yes! Just yes. I love the idea of Hero Affinity. We had it in Paragon. basically, to sum it up, is the more you play a certain character, more things you unlock. It could be like a special skin, special animations for your character, character borders, avatar pictures, stuff like that. I am all for that.
Emotes, probably.
Emotes.
I want my Howie Golden gun.
Right? Exactly. Exactly. So I am
need it.
super happy that we're going to get the Hero Infinity. We finally are confirmed for the PS4 and PS5 early access launch. So that means that early access, I think if I remember correctly, early access is actually going to end here with Season 3, and the game is going to go free to play for Season 4.
Possibly.
Possibly because in the blog, and basically down below, or I don't know, that specific blog, but it say that it may or not be the end of early access. Maybe just another type of format for Season 4, maybe way different than we've been working on.
Okay.
But it may still on early access.
All right. Well,
It's possible.
it's a possibility. Finally, the long-awaited new UI is coming out. I'm so happy they're done with that, and I hope it was worth the wait, because like me and Wisdom had discussed in our previous breakdown video, Season 2 is rough, and there wasn't a lot of content. So I'm hoping Season 3 is a lot better.
Same.
Ooh, well, we're gonna talk about that a little bit later, but for what it seems, it's not looking that bright, I think.
Yeah, Season 3, I mean, I'm hoping there's a little bit more, but so far what I'm seeing, it's like the one thing on this whole list that I see that I'm like super hyped for is just the Hero Affinity. I hope they do a really good job. I hope we get some really cool rewards for that. But with everything else, it's like, okay, guys, maybe we could like shift things, move up, make it move a little bit quicker, because it is a little lackluster. I'm not gonna. I agree with you there. It's kind of still looking a little.
I personally slightly disagree, because it depends on when Hero Affinity comes in the season. If it comes early, I think that Season 3 is already infinitely better than Season 2, because that at least gives us something to grind
down
as we play. Which Season 2 we had literally nothing, and if every hero had Hero Affinity, I don't know about you guys, but I would absolutely grind that shit out.
I'd have a fucking golden boulder Severog by now.
So I think that already makes Season 3 blow Season 2 out of the water. But if it comes later in the season, that effectiveness is going to dwindle, obviously. But that's my opinion.
I'm not sure if they've mentioned it lower down, because there is a bunch of stuff to read through after we finish with this original picture here. I'm not sure if there's a set date, or if it's even mentioned if it's going to happen right away or not. Hopefully it does mention it at some point here. I'm hoping, because it would, like I said, that would probably dictate how this season's going to go, is when the Hero Infinity comes out. I totally agree with you there, Wisdom. If it comes out early, beautiful. But if they like release it closer to like when Season 4 is about to release, or like when they release their original hero, we'll be in for another rough season.
Yeah.
Just a bit. So we have account linking. So basically, if you're playing on PS4, or PS5, Xbox, or whatever console or platform you're playing on, you'll be able to link your accounts and play with the same account over and across all platforms, which is super nice, super convenient. I mean, I'm not going to really play on console, because I think playing a mobile on controller is a huge disadvantage. But I do get that some people like to play on remote. And, that's up to them. Yeah, each to their own. Whatever. We have a jungle AI improvement. I don't know what specifically they're changing on the AI in the jungle. I haven't really noticed a huge issue with the AI for the jungle camps. Like,
I think there's issues that need to be addressed when it comes to jungle, but for so far, I think this is a good step in the right direction.
I think this possibly could be typed incorrectly. I think this is a general AI improvement.
Okay.
Because they've mentioned that that's coming in Season 3. So I think they just tack jungle on there to say like jungle 2, because I think it's lane minions that are the real problem, to be perfectly honest.
Well, yeah. I totally.
So the bots are buried down.
I think they just, that the communication there maybe they mistyped, or just it's hard to tell what they mean, but I've heard of general AI improvement coming in this season.
Yeah, the one thing I would love to see fixed, if it is a general UI improvement or AI, improvement for the lane minions. For I would love it, the main when you're in lane and your lane minions aren't there and it's just you, for the enemy creeps to not just ignore you and run into your tower. That is super annoying when you're trying to keep them out of your tower line so you can, get every little bit of CS easier. That's happened to me so many times while I've been in matches, and it's just so frustrating to just be like, all right, we're gonna kite this wave, and then they just be like, nope, you don't exist, walk past your into your tower line. And you're like, oh, okay, cool. And like, I can understand if they're in the tower range aggro, because there is like a certain range where they're like, no, tower's right there, we're gonna go there. But like, if you're standing in the middle of the lane and the minions just ignore you and you don't have any lane creeps there, kind of feels bad. Minions are like, nope, you ain't worth our time, bitch.
Yeah, it just makes freezing way more difficult than it has to be. Not that I like freezing in the first place, but sometimes, that's literally just the correct thing to do. Wave management is a thing to do in this game. And minions just literally ignoring you, it's a pain in the ass.
We also have the hero acquisition system coming in. So I've heard for this acquisition system, there's 2 ways that you can get heroes once the system is up. Easiest way is whatever the in-game currency is going to be, the free currency. Is it platinum? The free currency?
No, I don't think they've mentioned a free currency actually.
Yeah, not free currency. You gotta pay with money.
Yeah.
I don't think they're gonna make it so you pay with money. So I'm assuming they're gonna have a free currency that's gonna come out at some when that system.
No, I think the acquisition is gonna be like Valorant contracts. You just gotta get XP and you level it up until eventually you unlock the hero.
Well, see, I heard that that's why I was saying there's 2 ways. There was the first way where you just outright buy the character. Second way was there's a certain quests that you need to fulfill to unlock the character.
Yeah, I'm just saying it's not going to be you finish the quest and then get free currency to get the hero. I'm just saying it's going to be just that quest or contract, whatever it is, with no middleman there. That you just do that, then you unlock the hero, or you pay for it, of course, with money.
With money.
We're gonna read it like afterwards. They explain it a little bit later on the block.
All right.
Okay, cool.
Hold on to that for a bit then.
We have a new controller layout. I mean, that's great for the controller players. They can. I'm not sure if that means that you can customize your button configuration, or if they're just swapping around some of the buttons, so it feels a little bit better when you're playing on remote. Not sure if anybody that plays on with a remote that's listening to this video, if you've noticed or just disliked certain button placements. They are apparently switching that around. Hopefully it's in your guys' benefit. I wouldn't know because I play with keyboard and mouse. And then finally we have we have the Twitch drops, which is whatever, cool. Twitch drops are Twitch drops. But we have a dynamic ping system improvements. So I'm hoping that means that we're gonna get pings that are, I guess you could say, dynamic. Like for instance, didn't we know this? Easier to access, or I don't know why I'm like struggling to come up with a word, but basically they look different. You're able to distinguish them. They distinguishingly look different. Thank you. So like Din would know because he plays League of Legends. In League of Legends, you have 3 different types of pinging. You have the alert, retreat, and on my way ping, if I'm not mistaken.
The basic ones were that way, but then it was an update that added even more. But still, mainly you mostly see the main 4 ones. Careful, going, back off, and whatever.
So that is super handy for the people that, actually pay attention to pings. Cough, cough, alpha. But, I'm joking. So, I mean, that can be very, very handy for the people that actually do pay attention to anyone that's pinging in games. And I'm not going to lie, in a lot of my games, people really don't listen to callouts, even if I make them with the in-game VGS system. And I mean, it's going to be nice to have those distinguished pings or even better, a little better ping system. But at the end of the day, you know, some people just don't really listen to the pings at all. So it's nice, I guess.
It would be nice if it would actually be also like not only to do them, but also to see them. Because even if it's like different colors or whatever, sometimes the pings are like away from the main thing you are seeing. So in my case, even though I listen to pings, it's quite complicated to just look and down below to see who said it and what said it and which side. And I don't know, I think it's not as readable as it should be in comparison to League, I would say.
I think in League, when you ping with those, I think they do actually show up on the on the map, on like the map, like not the like the map that you see, but the map itself.
The map, they appear like a little icon if you're away from the ping. Like it's more readable.
It would be nice if they did something like that, where on the map you could see someone like calling, "Hey, retreat," and you can actually visually see it in your lane. Because then you have no excuse. Okay, you have a visual ping, bright red, that's saying, "Hey, bud, maybe you should back up." Yeah, that would be very nice.
It doesn't need to be like super like bright or super, or it has to last a lot. But just a more immersive indicator to what is going on or what is communicating.
I just want a more precise way to communicate, because I feel like whenever I'm trying to communicate through the ping system, I have to do like 4 separate pings to let my team know exactly what's going on. You know, I have to be like, you know, enemy missing, careful mid lane, on my way, you know, that kind of thing.
Yeah,
it's a lot. So I just want a way to be like, I don't know, just at least cut off one of those pings and be like, you know,
it would be nice if they combine a couple. Like if you could just say enemy missing, careful mid lane, and that's it. You don't have, you know, it would be nice if you just had that.
Yeah,
it would be nice if they just kind of combined a couple of those and made it a little bit easier on the ping. So like Wisdom saying, you're not pinging 3 or 4 different things to get your message across.
Yeah, or if I could, like, you know, there's the actual, you go into the menu ping or just, you know, click middle mouse ping. I want to be able to access the menu from middle mouse so I can ping, hey, careful mid lane from a certain spot on the map. That would be really nice. Because you either just, the middle mouse ping is what? It's a neutral ping, defend or attack. That's it.
I would also wouldn't mind if they changed it off of the drawing. Just to have that pop up on your screen and have to like, I mean, I guess if you do memorize it, you can be quick about it and doesn't block your screen for very long. I like personally how Smite does their VGS system, where it's you start with hitting V and then you get a whole bunch of options, so you can just memorize what buttons you need to press to get out whatever you need to say.
And it also has an audio. Like the whole character is telling you the thing that is happening. Like, be careful, back off.
Yeah,
enemy missing line,
and it shows who's calling it beside it. Like your, for example, it could be like Thor saying, "Hey, watch out! So this person's missing," and then you'd be like, "Okay, Thor's in solo lane, so I know the solo laner is missing."
Also, just a ward Fangtooth, for the love of God.
Yeah, I think. Please.
How has that been an oversight for so goddamn long?
Like, we have...
That's a social construct.
We have, what? Ward Orb Prime, but that's it. We don't have Ward Fang. We have Ward.
Or Ward left lane, Ward right lane.
Do we have a Ward here? We do have a Ward here, no?
I think so, but I might be wrong.
I don't think so.
Because I know we have 4 options when you go to warding. You have Ward Orb.
Yeah.
And then is it just ward mid, left, and right?
I think so.
That's ass.
Because it ain't Fangtooth.
Well, I can tell you that. It's definitely not
confession. I only use like 3 pings because, yeah, I don't have time to remember all the pings.
Yeah, no, I can flick to, as long as they're not, you know, super niche, I can flick to almost any of them in less than a second, but I still would like a better system.
Well, that's everything on this visual roadmap, so let's see what Omega has said here about what they're planning to do with this season. So as I stated at the beginning, season 3 will start on September 12th, and apparently will be wrapping up in early 2024. They'll communicate later on the exact end date. I'm assuming it'll probably it's been a consistent thing. It's usually about a month or two. They'll give you an exact date, like, yeah, this is ending on this day.
Yes, I'm just saying that there are 5 hero releases, so we can
Before we
assume
go, we can just check that, no? Like, which do you think is gonna be on the ADC, the mid laner, and the off laner?
Oh yeah, I
You
forgot.
have any-
I haven't even gone
Oh
over
yeah,
that.
that's true.
That's
Well,
true.
okay, just to finish my point really quick before I forget about it. Pretty sure season 3 is going to end February 1st, and that's when season 4 is going to begin. Because that's pretty much what happened this season. There's going to be 5 months. It'll go into January, at the very end of January, beginning of February. I think that's the timeline we're looking at.
That makes sense to me.
Hold on that, but yeah, we're gonna see
Yes.
that later.
So
So-
I think I said this, and again, this was the last video that I did before we had the patch notes. This is just when they announced that what the name of the next roadmap was going to be. I kind of gave a brief idea on what I think the characters are, and I'm still gonna keep those same 3 characters. One of them did change because Wisdom did bring up a good point on one of them. So for our carry, I'm pretty sold that it's going to be Grim.exe. He's the only ADC that I actually, maybe not Grim. Actually, it could be Grim, or it could be Ying.
I think it's going to be Yen.
Yeah, Ying makes a little bit more sense because she does have lightning. For some reason I thought in my head I forgot I was going to classify her as her mage, but no, she's actually a carry. If it is Ying, oh dear God. Just to fill in, Din, do you know who Ying is?
Of course, she's the girly with the whip. She's so cool.
That's a no. You just know that
What?
she's the girl. Or do you know what her abilities are? Any of her abilities?
Yeah,
Are like...
she deflects the fucking
Oh,
rock
God, okay, so you do know.
rampage into their
So you
face.
do know. Okay. So yeah, that will God, a Howie ult. God, a Howie ult.
I don't want to think about it. I really don't want to think about it.
You can be like,
Please.
I've got this bitch who ult whips the fucking missiles back in
I
your
don't need
face.
another hard counter. I do think it's going to be Yin, but Howie does not need another hard counter in the game right now. Oh, God.
Do you know there's an item, this is way off track, but there's an item that completely hard counters Howie that I just recently found out about?
What?
That item is Elefrost. Did you know that if you get hit with that frost ability where it's supposed to root you, it ends your ult? It pulls to the ground and ends your ult. So if
How
a carry,
the fuck are you supposed to hit him that many times with basic attacks?
it's only 3.
I thought it was more than 3.
No, it's only 3.
For melee is more.
It's 2 for melee. Melee per melee hit you get 2 stats.
There's no way it's 2.
Yes, because with Kai
To
you
root
can
someone?
hit. Yeah, to root somebody. If I remember correctly, unless they've changed it, on the ability, when you hit with melee, it's 2 stacks per hit for melee and a single stack on range, and it's either 3 or 5 stacks. All I know,
I think it's 5.
it might be 5, but I mean, late game, most carry can get 5 shots off pretty quickly.
Not Rev.
Maybe not Rev.
Although Rev
but
already
you-
had counters Howie, in my opinion.
you-
so-
Rev is already gonna shit on you before.
Yeah.
You do have to keep in mind though, like if you're anticipating the ult, you can get your stacks ready for that before and just wait to get the last shot off once you see how he ult. Then you just hit him, get the 5th
Are you
or 3rd.
sure? Not every root counters Howie ult.
No,
in fact, none of them do.
I've seen this visually happen to a
So
Howie.
you're saying Elefrost is the only root in the game that counters
Yes.
Howie ult?
I don't know why Ella Frost works like that, but I had a game
Also
just
facing.
recently that we played where
His face?
Yes.
phase
I
root.
don't-
Yeah, phase
Are
root
you
does.
sure?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, she was
Yeah, it does. It,
Okay,
it might
what
just
is
be
different about their roots?
whose?
Their roots, because Revs doesn't and Faye's doesn't.
Yes. It
I,
is.
I think
No, Faye isn't Faye, the mid laner.
I know your
I
face
think-
support.
I think for Faye the reason is because you get out of the range of the
Of
the
the-
ult.
No, I still get rooted.
Oh, you still get
Even
pulled?
if you Yeah,
She
you'll
grabs
still
you by
get
your
pulled. Trust
ankle.
me, I've had that interaction before. You can't just ult out of it. If she catches you in the circle and you go up, that there will still be something attached to you.
Oh, so
You have to epoch out.
yeah, but do you lose your ult once you come down, or do you still have it?
No, you still have your ult. I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
In that scenario.
Well, again, this is completely irrelevant to the video, but just I'm
Yes,
gonna wrap
no.
up really quickly here.
Okay.
I had a
wanted
game.
to-
I watched. Twin Blast built it. I watched him do it 6 times to this Howie. The Howie would ult. He was waiting, hit him with the Elephos. The Elephos would proc. He would land to the ground. Ult was gone because he wouldn't use it again, and he would just die. So I
For
just
the record,
I just know for a
it is-
fact that Elefrost and Howie hates it.
it is 8 times. And for melee, apply 2 stacks.
Okay,
That's
so
8
rest.
autos.
Again, it's easy to get those stacks prior to the fight. If you're doing it as he ults and you're starting fresh, yeah, impossible. But if you're already hitting Howie beforehand and he doesn't ult right away, you can anticipate, read that, and root him.
I think the only carry you can do that realistically on is with TB. Because he one auto would probably count for 2 for this. Or his ult may even proc this. I'm not sure.
This ult does proc on hit, so yes, it would.
Although it specifically says it applies on basic attacks, so I don't know. I think TB is the only one that could do that. Sure, it's a niche scenario, but like...
It's funny. And if I ever 1v1 you, I'm totally going to do it to you. But...
This is super sidetrack though.
Yeah.
TB already kind of counters how we do.
Super sidetracked.
Okay.
So anyways,
Rim, who's the mid lane?
for mid lane... See, I don't know.
I think it's Iggy Scorch.
Yeah, same.
It's
Sadly,
gotta be.
yes.
What other
But-
mid laners are there?
He and Great.
Yeah.
Those are the only ones.
Great?
I don't see. I'm just trying to think of the theme, right? It's supposed to be harness the storm. Iggy has nothing to do with lightning. His whole thing is fire.
I mean,
and-
already happened before that not all the heroes really match at the perfection of the team.
That is
the
true.
thematic.
I think it's.
Yeah,
I think it's usually their
Yeah.
a meta original that just follows
Uh-huh.
it. That makes sense.
Well, but
For example, she
but-
first season, second phase is not really an ascended person, so you know.
what about season 1 though? I know there was Shimby, but for the most part, it was what Countess, Rev,
Shimby?
Shimby, and then
what's her
Kira.
name? Kira.
So the first 3 had a
they fit the darkness kind
yeah.
of thing.
well, no, they all had the Countess shit because Rev wants to kill Countess,
Yeah.
and Kira wants to kill Countess. They want revenge. So that
I'm
fits that
annoyed
little
about
dynamic. And Shimby should have been Terra, by the way, from what I know about Terra, to complete that. But
Yeah, to complete that, it should have been Terra. So yeah, I'm gonna
That's what I
say
heard.
if we're sticking to the theme of the roadmap, the carry is most likely gonna be Yin. If it's not Yin,
Yeah.
I'm putting my money on Grim, which I would love to have Grim because I mained Grim back in Paragon. Would love to have Grim.exe. Mid laner, yeah, it's either gonna be Wraith or Iggy because I'm pretty sure those are the only 2 mid laners we don't have so far. Yeah, I'm
It's
almost
Iggy.
sure those are the 2 main laners we don't have for mages.
Because I see more Great. I don't know if a lot of people, but I see him more as an ADC. To be fair, I don't really see him like as a mid laner.
Wraith or Iggy?
Great.
Wraith? Okay.
I don't even know what Ray does, but I'm assuming it's going to be Iggy, to be honest. It's what the
It's gonna
community
be-
wants.
And then
I don't want
for
to be
the off laner, it's got to be Kwang. If we're sticking to the theme,
It's-
there's no doubt in my mind that it's Kwang.
I think we
What?
can all agree it's probably Kwang.
Yeah, because he's the only one from the survey they did at the start of all these things.
Yeah.
That's
they did
not
between
here.
Face, Greystone, and he's the only one that is not even here.
Yeah.
And it's been already like a long time, so.
Yeah, we
That's
can all
pretty
agree
good.
it's going to be Kwang.
Mhm.
And if I had to base it off of what we have here, we have jungler Serath, we have a carry, we have a mid laner, and we have an off laner. So their original hero has to be a support. There's no way that
Now-
it's not.
Doesn't has to be really, because if you look at the first, actually, if you look at the first season, we had 2 ADCs. Second season, we got 2 offlaners / jungle kinda.
I just want
And
another
so
support.
they can.
Yeah,
can
but they're
repeat.
giving us a full roadmap this time, and it looks very obvious. I'm pretty sure it's going to be a support. They haven't
Hopefully.
done one yet, so I think they're going to do one for every every role before they double up.
No, this is
Hopefully,
why.
but there's still possibilities that it doesn't happen.
Yeah, it
Yes,
is true.
technically, this is true.
The one thing as to why I wanted to be a support, or I think it's a
More
support,
supports.
is we need more. One is we need more supports. We need more supports, and two, we need more tanks.
Yep.
More variety of tanks, because I mean, for the most part, when you see tank, you're gonna see Steel, you're gonna see Rampage, and you're gonna see Richter. The odd time you'll see Greystone. Very odd. I mean, he's kind of been making a bit of a comeback.
Did you say Sev?
There's also Sev.
Okay, I was gonna say the tanky is tank.
There's tank. I would just like another tank support specifically, because for tank support we have Richter and Steel. I mean, you can support with Rampage and make it work. You can support with Zarus and kind of make that work as well. I mean, Zarus not that tanky though.
I mean, you can put ADCs in mid lane and they're not really mages.
I do tank Zarus, and I'll tell you, yeah, he's not that tanky.
Yeah, no. So yeah. I'm kind of hoping that it's just a tank support. That's what I want. It would be nice.
I have a little piece of information that everyone else may not have. Din, you might know, but if you look closely on the roadmap, I know you have it in a smaller image right here, but there are letters under the harness, and I think it was exclusive in his community, decoded it like they did in the last one, and it's harness the Emerald Storm.
The Emerald story, yeah, it's Emerald. Look at the fucking look at the background, sorry. It's a green emerald kind of thing.
So I think we can confirm that the Omega original hero is going to have shit to do with lightning.
If you do look here,
Emerald.
it almost looks like there's a hand right there. Now that I'm actually taking a bit of a deeper look, right behind where it says Storm, that kind of looks like there's an open palmed hand.
Yeah, a little bit. I can see that.
I'm not high enough to see it, but sure.
And I think I have a personal fan theory based off the image they showed for the Omega original hero. I think it's gonna be a Minotaur because I think it's a head with horns.
Fair enough. If you're looking at the picture there,
yeah,
it looks very Aztec-y to me.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, you're not the third person I've heard to say that.
Yeah, I'm thinking of fucking Hunbats in particular when I see that picture.
I think of fucking Chuck because of the storm and raining and whatever, but more sport.
Dude, if we had to shock in the... Anyways, okay, I'm not gonna get sidetracked. We'll continue there. I totally agree, though. I totally agree. So, I did read this earlier about the update frequency. I don't know why they've made this decision, but basically, they're making the important change to release the cadence of Season 3 after 0.11. The speed at which we release each patch will slow down slightly. Larger content patches will be roughly every 6 weeks, and the balance patches will follow them approximately 3 weeks after. So instead of getting our updates, which was 4 weeks, they've bumped it to 6 weeks. They're promising that it's supposed to be more content in the patches because they're taking that extra 2 weeks. It just feels bad that we have to wait.
What I heard, this has to do with console, because this is not something confirmed. I don't know. This is what people have been theorizing, that they are taking that extra week because applying patches in PlayStation takes longer.
Yeah.
Than you will do in PC, which is more instantly.
Makes sense.
Which annoys me. So you better people who are begging for console, please play the game. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Yeah, please do.
That'd be nice. Yeah, that sucks. That better mean the patch where there is no hero better be more than just a slap on the wrist for some items and heroes, or like tiny little microscopic buffs.
Yeah,
something more meaningful, bigger numbers, basically.
It would be good if you made one of those patches was the hero affinity. Dang, Omega, you could do that.
Yep. That would also be perfect, and all of my complaints for Season 3 would then stop, because that would be enough content for me. Compared to Season 2, I am starving.
The heroes of Season 3. So if you follow their social media channel, or if you're part of the Discord, subreddit, all that stuff, we all know that Serath, and which is actually, she's a pretty fan favorite in the Paragon community, is the first hero that we are getting in this season here. The rest of the heroes of the season remain a closely guarded secret for now, but they're going to share hints, at least regarding their next Omega original hero. So codename Emerald is a powerful new hero that has harnessed the energy of the Soul Storm in their pursuit of power. They're excited to share the codename Emerald, but for now, we're gonna have to wait for more information. Now, I'm not gonna get my hopes up about this whole Emerald thing because, like with Zaris, look at Zaris. We were promised this whole thing with Blizzard, and
like, he's cool.
He's
Plot
cool.
twist, he's just made out of emerald. That's it.
Right, exactly. Exactly. I don't want to just be
warrior.
like, we have an Emerald Warrior. Haha, see, codename Emerald. Haha. Like, you know? So I'm not gonna look too much into that until the character comes out and they prove me wrong, because with Zaris, there was this whole thing where it's supposed to be lizard ability or base abilities, and all we got was a Dragonborn with a spear.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I don't like Zaris. Cool. I love Zaris.
Because people on Reddit, I saw they really got very heated because someone say this, like, they waste the lizard concept. But dude, let's be honest, like, yes, he's cool and he's amazing, but at the end of the day, it's just the lizard part of him is just a race.
Yeah, honestly. I've already gone over the end of season rewards, so what we're getting. Like usual, they're not changing it. Basically, at the end of the season is when you would get all the rewards, not when you hit the level requirement. It's once the season's over with and the next season starts at a certain date, you'll get all the rewards that they have promised on the roadmap.
Maybe that'll be when we get our Greystone things at the start of season 3.
Honestly, probably. This is probably what the what the profile icons, the exclusive Omega hero profile icons are, to be quite honest.
Yeah, probably.
We've gone over the console release. We know that it's coming to PS4 and PS5. I guess it's not going to Xbox just yet, but if you play on PlayStation, you are going to get access to play Predecessor. It's not going to be free to play. Like I mentioned in the previous video, you're still going to have to pay and buy one of those bundles. They might, it's not a for sure thing, they might make it so on the first week or so, it's going to be a little bit cheaper. But then after, if you haven't bought it within that week period,
that should be nice.
It would be nice. I wouldn't say why they wouldn't do that. It would encourage people to buy it and to actually pick up the game, right? I'm not saying that they are going to do that. That's just me theorizing. It would be a nice thing for Omega to do is to do what they did with the PC launch, where the bundles are a little bit cheaper for a little while, and then after that, they go back up to their set prices. The new UI, we've covered that. So finally, after suffering through season 2,
they look pretty.
Yeah, we're gonna have a nice, pretty UI on the 12th of September. Now, the one thing that I've been the most excited for is the Hero Affinity. So one of the other big additions that we're going to expect in this season is the Hero Affinity. And it's going to be their take on the beloved Hero Mastery System from Paragon. So like I kind of briefly said earlier, from Paragon, the Hero Mastery System, you got exclusive shit like skins, borders, and visual effects for a character. Which is really nice, because if you have a character that you really, really love, it's going to encourage you to play that character more and try to get everything that you can to unlock for that character. Right? No Wisdom's Howie. I'm most likely going to go Severog because I love Severog. Didn't probably Countess. No, certainly Countess. Certainly Countess. The hero acquisition. So this is going to change the way that we get heroes. We kind of briefly touched on this earlier, but I'll just quickly read this out. Before you are able to play with a new hero, you'll need to unlock them first. This can be done by playing the game and meeting their unlock criteria, or if you'd prefer, by simply paying to skip the grind. We hope the system will be rewarding for those who are regularly invested their time into Predecessor while also providing goals for you to work toward. Apparently there's going to be more information on the dedicated hero acquisition blog post that's going to be coming soon. I really, really hope you can buy them with free currency and it isn't just with the bought platinum currency, because that would be kind of lame. But I also do understand that the company needs a certain way to bring money in so they can fund the game. So I would understand if they did make it so you either buy with platinum or you do the quest system. It makes sense.
I think they'll do a free.
I don't think they will do a free currency. Just once again, for the same thing, just for the nature of the contract system, it's already free. Like you can
you still can for skins.
Yeah, I mean, for the common skins, maybe that should be good.
That's one thing I think
hope. If you save enough free stuff, you should be able to get any skin you want, as long as it's not like a very specific event.
Usually with skins, I mean, the common ones, In some
Are
MOBAs, you're able to buy them with the free currency. For the most part, skins you're paying money.
Mhm.
How it's always been.
I mean, I'm not the most familiar with MOBA
Yeah.
style, stuff, but in my style, like in Overwatch 1, you could buy whatever skins you want, more or less.
Yeah, so,
But
well,
also
buy
dead
with
game,
free currency or with money.
free currency.
Yeah, no,
but you
no,
already paid for the game, so
that is
it's
true.
free to play.
Technically, I did with this one, but yes, no, I see your point. It's all right.
The jungle AI improvement. So playing as a jungler is about to become even more exciting. Please, because I'm only playing jungle right now because I want to try to get GM. It's the only reason.
Because you're good at it.
Yeah, I know I am good at it, but jungle is so boring.
Side
Anyways,
note, I was wrong. This is only for jungle, apparently. Makes me sad.
yeah, you were. It's only jungle. So we're
is.
playing several improvements to make the fights with jungle minions more challenging and more thrilling. Minions will be able to exit their camp radius, attack while moving, jump off nearby ledges, and have improved path. I can leash camps. I'm actually okay with this. I can take the red buff and do red buff and in the 4 or the 3 camp at the same time. I am totally all for that.
Galari is.
Yo, wait, can you do that in other
smiling right now.
MOBAs?
Yes, you can.
Yes.
Specifically Dota. Specifically Dota.
And Smite now in the new season.
Smite, yeah,
and also
Smite
League of
now.
Legends.
How
Yeah.
far can you take them?
As far as you
Far.
want.
Oh, well, obviously within a certain range of it, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, well,
It's not going to chase you
basically
into the enemy fountain.
No, not that
No.
far. You would basically be able to, like, if you were starting on red buff, you'd be able to take it to the other 2 camps that are right there. You'd be able to walk them over and basically do both camps at the same time.
So jungle would get a lot more interesting.
Yeah, because
Galari is happy right now because imagine you are the poor jungle attracting all of them, and then Galari comes, still you're red, and she kills you because you are receiving so much damage from the other creeps.
yeah,
Sounds painful, but more exciting.
Clara's going to be able to do a lot more with her stealth if kiting, camp kiting is going to be a thing in the game. She's going to have a new mechanic. Her thing's going to be like, okay, we'll either do the save thing and just farm on my side, or we can see if they're kiting their camps, taking an assload of damage, and see if I can kill them and take half their jungle, just like that. Would be pretty devastating. I like it. I've always been for kite camping or camp kiting because it allows you to clear quicker, and if you're a better player, you can also do a lot more with that. Gives you a little bit of a leg up, and there's also the risk reward. Do I bring this camp over and risk maybe their jungler or anyone on the enemy team showing up and then just taking advantage of that in the early part of the game, or can I do this, successfully get it off, and now I'm like ahead, and I can go look for a gank and really just manipulate the game even further. So I'm all for it. I'm for that. Alongside this, we have a larger jungle rebalance planned to promote more interactive gameplay between the dedicated junglers and their lane focused counterparts. Doesn't a larger jungle rebalance?
Yeah, I think it's more like a stat thing.
Like a stat?
I
Yeah.
hope that it takes way longer to do camps. So that means you won't see as often the level 2 gank. Because we all can agree the jungle has a lot of stuff to work. There has a lot of... The map itself is horrible for the laners. So I think if they cannot change the map just yet, doing like a rebalance stats so they can stay more in the jungle, the game allows you to be more how do I say it? Like promotes the game to be a more jungler, to farm a little bit more than just gank level 2 and destroy the mid laner or the ADC. I think this is a change for the right direction. We still need to see what are these changes, but I like it so far.
Also, as a non-jungler, I very much agree. I think junglers don't spend enough time in the jungle, and it's just a real pain in the ass. Like I know a few jungler players, and they gank 3 times and never miss a camp timer. Like it's way too easy.
It is way too easy to jungle.
And it's a map problem, but it's like
it's a map problem and like a camp health damage problem as well. It's a little too easy to jungle. Just a little bit. Yeah. Anyone that is
Bless you.
interested on the new, because I'm gonna try to streamline this a little bit so I can get over to the patch notes. Anyone that is interested on the new and improved controller layout, just pause the video here and give this a quick read. Oh, jumped up a little bit. Dynamic ping system improvements. So this has been on. We have, or at least what our thoughts. I'm just gonna read what Ometa has said. Yeah. So this has been on our list for a while, and they're pleased to confirm that it's coming for season 3. It's gonna come a little later, but they're redesigning our pinging system to fit right in with our new user interface. It will have more options to choose from, and we'll think it will significantly improve team communication. Telling your teammates what's going on and responding and announcing intentions will never have been quick and easy. Never have been so quick. That sentence doesn't make sense in my head. Anyways, so like we touched on earlier, I hope that we get dynamic pings and maybe also pings that show up on the map. But it looks like we're gonna get more options on pings. Hopefully they're a little bit more streamlined, so you don't have to ping 4 different things to get your message across. The player account portal. So they've been teasing a new player account portal for a while here. They're pleased to share that it's also coming in season 3. The player account portal is going to be a hub for you to link your predecessor game account. So this is going to basically allow you to link your accounts and be able to play your account on whatever platform that you want to play the game at the current time. If you want to play on PS4, you can play your account on PS4 and also play it on PC. Eventually, if it does go to Switch or Xbox, it would be the same thing. You would be able to play the same account across all platforms. And then we have season 4 and beyond. So season 3 is planned to be the last early access season in this format. This doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to move out of early access at the end of the season, but they do expect that after season 3 things will be different. There's going to be more information on that towards the end of the season. And this is just a little EULA that they have, that they could change the rewards and stuff as they please, and that everything is not set in stone for the rewards or things that they have.
They will not give us any rewards.
Yeah. Yeah, everything for the rewards is not a for sure thing, and that it could be changed. That's just all that little last bit is. So let's take a look at the patch notes. So we have Serath. I'm not sure if that's going to be her card art for when you're picking her in lobby, but here we have Serath in all her angelic glory. I love her mace.
She's beautiful.
She is beautiful. Version 0.11. So this is just basically saying about what we just touched on, the new UI, all that stuff, the new hero. So we have Serath, the new hero appears. Oh, if that's her card art, love it.
Yeah, her icon.
I love her icon. Icon is very, very nice. Got a little golden tattoo there. Cool little touch. Beautiful. All right, so like I said earlier, after we go over the patch notes, we have the ability overview video for Serath. We will look at that after the patch notes. Well, let's take a look at the abilities. Bowling Grace, passive. I believe, Dan, you were mentioning that you're a little bit scared. I'm going to read this off, and I want to see. I'll see if I agree with you being scared of her passive. Taking down an enemy hero will spawn a demonic visage that lasts for 10 seconds at the site of execution. Serath can step through it to consume it. Upon consuming the visage, Serath activates her heresy ability, regardless of cooldown or level, and reduces her current basic ability cooldowns by 75%. This does not affect the cooldown of heresy. Okay, so they've changed her ult. I'm assuming. Because her ult was, you ulted and you went into that heresy stage, which is the demonic stage. I can see why that's terrifying.
Keep reading. Keep reading and you will see why.
Well, I don't think that you have to get a kill in order to activate this passive. Otherwise, it's dead for the rest of the game.
Yep, true. That is true. But if you're like, even if you get one, well, you know what? I'll read the rest. But just basing off, even if you're behind and you get one kill, getting 75% cooldown on abilities is crazy. Angelic Smite. Your left mouse button click if you're playing on mouse. I don't know what it is on controller. Sorry. So for controller, you're gonna have to figure that out because they do not have it listed here on the website. This is just strictly PC or mouse and keyboard. So it has a 25% cleave. Makes sense. It's a mace. I like the cleave. It has an attack speed of 1.15. That's pretty normal. And an effect. Melee basic attacks deal 58 plus 90% of your bonus physical power and physical damage. Decent amount of scaling on your autos. You could probably go an ADC build with her if you really, really wanted to. Her first ability here is Heaven's Fury, or on your Q. Starting base, level 1, 16 seconds on cooldown. Max level gets reduced to 12 seconds once you have it fully leveled. Costs 50 mana at level 1 and 70 at max rank of the ability. Serath marks a target and then vanishes. Strike an enemy at the target's location 5 times, with the first and final strike guaranteed to hit her mark. Each slash does 45 damage at level 1 of the ability and 125 at max rank of the ability, with 60% physical power scaling on the ability. This applies physical damage and does apply on hit effects at 75% of the effectiveness, which is pretty high. That's pretty decent. That will probably get tweaked. Additional strikes against the same target deal 20% increased damage. Okay, cool. So if you're using this ability on someone like 1v1, you're going to be doing a little bit more damage on that person. So probably ideally, she sounds like 1v1ing is going to be her stick. She's going to enjoy doing that because she's going to do a little bit more damage with her Q at least.
That's a lot of damage.
It's a lot of damage. If the marked target dies, Serath teleports immediately. Okay, cool. So if the target dies at any point during the volley of attacks, that volley stops and she just has teleported to where they have died and she's just there. Her second ability, Ascend. So at level 1, it has 18 seconds of cooldown. At max rank, you have 14 seconds reduction. It's going to cost 80 mana flat at all levels. So when you activate this ability, Serath rises to the air and hovers for a second, pretty much 2 seconds. During this time, she can target an area up to 1,350 units away. Upon confirmation at the end of this time, Serath dives down, dealing 80 damage at rank 1 and then 220 damage at max rank with an additional 60% physical power boost. So this is an AoE ability. This is your escape. I have seen a little bit of the trailer. It has a decent amount of verticality. You can actually use this to get up and over a decent amount of the ledges in River, for instance. Those little ledges that are right above the buffs, the river buffs. You can actually pretty much clear them with this ability. Very, very nice little touch of verticality. Love to see it. I would love more abilities that are like this, where we have more verticality, because I think we need to tap into that a little bit more for Predecessor.
I agree, but this makes me mad because this is just Howie ult mobility on a cooldown.
Yes. Yes, it is.
Yep.
It's ridiculous. And you can choose where to land.
Yes, you can.
It is also just Greystone's leap. This makes it look pathetic.
Yep. Like I said before, Serath was bullshit overpowered in Predecessor. I mean, they've changed a couple things so far.
And she's still powerful.
And she's still very powerful. Chastise. Right mouse button. At rank 1, it's on a 10-second cooldown, and once you've maxed it out, it is reduced to 6 seconds. It costs 50 mana at all ranks. When you activate Chastise, Serath claps her wings in front of her, dealing 80 damage at rank 1 and then 240 damage at max rank with 80% physical power scaling. The ability also applies a 35% slow for a second or 1.25 seconds. Chastise cast speed increases with additional attack speed and resets Seraph's basic attack cooldown on use. What that means, if anyone is not familiar with auto attack canceling, there's certain abilities that when you activate them, you can get pretty much an instant auto right away. This is very nice for getting burst damage with your auto and to chain basically autos in between abilities to get more damage off when you're fighting.
Yep.
That's what that means when it says it resets the cooldown on your auto. It's kind of nice that they include that, so you're not, having to figure it out on your own. They're just letting you know. That is... this ability was in... Paragon. This is still the same. Ascend is still the same. Her Q, different. That is not the same. Obviously, she didn't have a passive in Paragon, so that's also new. This ability still sounds like bullshit. I mean, it's
a lot of damage.
It's a lot of damage and it's AoE slow.
I'm looking at Grux right now because he has somewhat similar numbers. That's nuts.
Yeah, no,
compared to just some of his numbers.
She was bullshit. There's a reason why I said she was bullshit strong. I loved her, but she was bullshit strong in Paragon. And now I'm curious what they've done with her ult, because her passive is basically her ult. Heresy. So it's got a 90-second cooldown at all ranks that does not change. Obviously, if you get cooldown items, that can lower it a little bit. It costs 100 mana at all levels. So when you activate Heresy, Serath takes on her demonic form, dealing 60 additional damage at rank 1 and 160 max ranked for the ability, with 50% bonus physical power scaling. It also sets them on fire or ablaze. For the next 7 seconds, Serath gains 15% movement speed, 20% attack speed at rank 1 of the ability, and then 40% attack speed gained at max rank of Heresy. And empowers her basic attacks with Infernal Strikes, which is just basically every time you auto someone, you set the blaze effect on them. Infernal Strikes sets enemies' units ablaze on hit. There we go. There it is right there. So your autos will, when someone is set ablaze, will be doing 30 additional damage at rank 1, and then at max rank of Heresy, it's 60 with 30% bonus physical power scaling of true damage over 4 seconds. So defense is not going to affect the blaze damage.
It stacks.
It stacks with successive applications. They don't specify here what the stack amount cap is. They'll probably go over it in the video.
I don't think there is one. It's just you stack it once and that cooldown's going while the other stacks are applied, right? And it'll be done when it's done, because it doesn't re-up the 4 seconds. It just stacks on top of it.
It just stacks on top of it. That's nasty.
They're saying there's no cap. Serath with Primal buff, I think, is going to... It's not going to overtake Morigesh, but it's going to be number 2 in damage of the game. Like, that's ridiculous.
Let's put it into perspective here. If she gets a kill, she's getting... And goes into her demonic form. She's getting 75% cooldown reduction on her abilities. This bitch is going to be able to jump up into the air and land and use that... Because when you use your Q, you'd actually disappear off the map, from what I've seen from the trailer, and you can't be targeted or take damage. She's going to be able to basically disappear in fights constantly if one person dies. Not to mention that if she ults, I'm assuming your passive goes off to begin with, because you're in that Heresy mode or the demonic form. So once you hit your ult, once you hit level 6 and you just activate Heresy, I'm assuming you get your passive as well. So when you ult, not only are you getting movement speed, attack speed, a damage over time on your autos and your abilities, you're also giving 75% cooldown reduction. She's literally...
I think the cooldown might only be for the passive. But I think if you scroll back up,
no, it says when she's in her Heresy. Her Heresy
yeah,
ability.
but that says upon consuming the visage, she activates it. I think that part is just for the passive. But you can get it in her ult if she gets a kill and then gets the passive. Then she'll get the 75% cooldown. We'll test it when she releases, but I think that's what that says.
I'm not sure though, because it says Serath activates her Heresy ability. This just means that she can basically have her ult.
Yes, but there's a period after that, and the Heresy ability itself doesn't say she gets that, which is why I'm saying I think it's she has to consume a visage, because that's how that sentence starts.
I hope so, because if she just ults and she has a 75% ability cooldown,
I don't think that's the case. I think she has to get a kill first. But either way, it's ridiculous, and I think she's going to be an assassin.
Oh yeah.
Like I know she may not seem like it, but I think she can, if she pops her ult, she can hit Q on any squishy in the game, mage or carry, and just dead.
Yeah, like I think when it comes to gameplay wise, if you see Serath and she's coming in, and obviously she's either gonna start with her start by using her leap to get in close, or she's gonna try to use her Q to teleport in. In fights, this is the only time I'll ever say this: group next to your carry or your mage, so they're not taking the full brunt of that Q by themselves. Because that ability divides the damage evenly on an AoE around the original target, and then obviously when it finishes with the final bit of damage on the original target. But let's not let the carry and the mage just take the fucking full ability by themselves. So support players and tanks, please stand next to your fucking carry and your mages if you see Serath fucking going in, because she will just decimate them. She will just eat them.
Goodbye, carry.
Goodbye, carry. Your carry will be no more.
Yep.
Next thing I'm seeing here on the patch notes is the store. So we're getting Morning Star Serath. Things aren't always as clear as the night and day. Wield your weapon and conquer the Crimson Skies with Seraph's new Morning Star skin. So this is another just recolor common skin.
It's the same picture.
It's the same picture. This is probably the most underwhelming skin I think that we've gotten.
I mean, I really hope that Omega starts to actually release actual skins, because the recolors are just like cool.
Like if they're gonna do a recolor, at least do it right. Like, what is this shit? I'm sorry. What is that? It looks like a more darker version of her.
What is this shit?
She looks like it's an old armor. I don't know.
It just looks like they gave her a bit of a blue tint on her armor, and that's about it. It's not the plain white.
I don't know. At least do it in dark, brown. I don't know. Something more interesting than that.
So, I trust Dan. He's an artist.
As we already know, I'm not going to go over it again. We're getting a new UI. Right off the get-go in the next patch. We're also getting so the hero acquisition is happening right away on September 12th. Let's see if they answer a couple of the questions that we had earlier. So speaking of hero acquisition, we're implementing the new system which will permanently unlock Serath. That's right, Serath is the first hero that won't be included for free in the early access bundle. Meaning if you want to keep her after version 0.11, you'll need to unlock her. All new heroes will be unlockable two ways. Either by earning XP towards unlock requirements, or by purchasing them outright with platinum. Okay, so there is going to be no free currency. I'm not sure, maybe if they have a plan for the future, or if it's not going to be a thing at all. But basically, if you want to get a new character, you got to either use the platinum, which is the paid currency that you buy, or you do the you get your EXP and do whatever the quest system is to get the unlock requirements for the character. They're also implementing the free rotation. You know what? That makes sense. If you're making it so characters need to be bought, it makes sense that they would be implementing a free rotation. All MOBAs do it. Basically, every week there's certain characters that you can play for free without, even if you don't have them unlocked, which is very nice because it gives you a chance to play characters that you might think that you want, like in the future when there's obviously a bigger pool for characters in Predecessor. There's gonna be certain characters that you actually want to try out first, like, you know, you want to see how they play out, how they feel, before you end up investing either platinum or spending the time to unlock the character. You know, it would suck if you spent all this time to unlock a character and then you didn't end up liking the character. You'd be like, well, shit, I just wasted a bunch of time for a character I'm not even gonna play. Serath will be on a free rotation for 2 weeks following the patch release, meaning everyone will be able to try her out without having to purchase her. So this is going to give everyone a chance to play her, see how she feels, and anyone that doesn't like Serath, they won't have to bother doing the requirements to unlock her. I'm okay with this. That's totally cool. If they actually keep that trend for every character release, that'd be kind of cool. I like that. It gives everyone a chance to try the character, and if they do decide they want to buy and get the character, they can. If not, it's whatever.
Yeah, I think in the future, though, they're going to allow us to do the contracts 2 weeks in advance, at least in EA, or just before hero release, so we can unlock them before they're released, so we can play them on release.
Makes sense.
I'm pretty sure I heard Ace say that somewhere.
Keep reading.
To reiterate, you can unlock any locked hero regardless of whether they're currently playable for free or not. The amount of XP needed to unlock a hero will vary, with some like Serath having multiple unlock stages. There are many milestones that you'll need to reach in order to fully unlock the hero. Alternatively, you can skip the process entirely and just use platinum to buy the character, which will become cheaper depending on how many of the unlock stages you've already achieved. Okay, so if you didn't want to spend a certain amount of platinum, you could do a couple of the stages, and it'll be a little bit cheaper to buy the character that you want. Either way, once you've earned enough XP and you've skipped the process with platinum, Serath will be permanently added to your roster of unlocked and playable heroes forever. They're going to be going in depth with the hero acquisition and a dedicated blog later this month, outlining exactly what you can expect for version 0.12 and onwards. For now, they hope that we enjoy playing Serath, and they're working towards permanently adding her to our roster. We have match XP changes. So with the hero acquisition system being added, they've needed to rebalance how much XP is earned per match to ensure that it takes time to unlock a hero like Serath, which feels fair and right. Basically, doesn't feel like it's taken too long, but it's not too easy to unlock a character.
Queen games.
Yeah. Rest assured, however, the overall time it takes to earn all of those end of season rewards we shared in our season 3 roadmap block will remain consistent with previous rewards. So they're not going to change how much XP it takes to get account level ups. They're just changing or going to work out how much XP is required to meet the requirements to unlock a character. Downtime. So they're anticipating a fairly large period of downtime during this game update. Makes sense. There is quite a bit that they're dumping in. Honestly, it is probably the biggest update that they've had so far. They're gonna need to run the necessary checks and distributions to deliver rewards for the final players for season 2. The rewards for season 2. They are expecting the downtime to be 4 hours, but they're gonna try to complete it sooner if they can. There's gonna be more information on that on their social feeds or on their Discord. If you are not a part of their Discord, they probably have a link to the Discord on their website. You can go to predecessor.game or predecessorgame.com to find that link. If you're already a part of it, cool. You can actually see the logo for the Discord right here on the top right. So if you were to come to this website here, predecessorgame.com, and click here, you would get the link that would take you to the Discord. Balance changes. All right, so this is all the new changes we're having to mechanics and stuff like that. Oh, so they're touching lifesteal, are they? Lifesteal mechanics. They're changing the way healing is calculated when AoE damage or dot damage is converted into healing via lifesteal, magical lifesteal, or omnivamp. Previously, AoE dot damage would benefit from the full value of lifestealing effects when dealing damage to heroes, resulting in excessive healing potential in hero-to-hero combat if multiple targets were struck out once. Someone stacking sustain items, we're looking at, Crunch and Countess. That's pretty obvious. To tackle cases of over-the-top healing, they are now implementing a penalty resulting in 33% effectiveness for life-stealing effects when triggered by AoE or dot damage. That makes sense. I'm okay with that.
Same.
Matching the existing penalty that's already enforced on minion and monster healing, effectively now you'll get a third of the value from life-stealing effects on those damage types. So if you're healing on someone, it's a single target. The healing is going to be whatever it is stated on the ability or whatever the item is. But if you're doing damage and you're life stealing on AoE or dot damage, you're going to have this 33% effectiveness limit, which makes sense because honestly, Countess and specifically Crunch, their life stealing can be a little insane if you're not building anti-heal.
I've seen Crunches at actually probably less than 200 HP manage to outbox 2 people because his healing was too much.
Right.
It's ridiculous.
Not only that, like I've seen Crunches literally be at like, say 200 HP and they'll walk up to an enemy minion wave and hit the whole wave with a Q and boom, pretty much right up to full health.
It's so busted. And also Countess, I just hate Countess. No offense, Din, but I just fucking hate Countess. Shimmy included, but Countess more. So I think anytime she gets kicked down, I'm okay with this.
I hate it here. Reading. I'm gonna explain why.
I hate it here. Okay, so these changes will have a significant impact on the efficacy of the affected hero items before making too many follow-up compensation adjustments to the fallout. We're interested in seeing how matches flow in a less healing-heavy environment first. After this, if and where needed, they can better redistribute the lost healing either back into the hero's kit and making them less reliant on a specific item, or provide items such as Lifebinder and Mutilator a little bit more love if they underperform, as well as having the option of introducing more healing items into the game. Now stacking them is less effective. So the change is a little bit summed up right here as when dealing damage to heroes, area effect and damage over time sources now heal for 33% effectiveness when benefiting from lifesteal, magical lifesteal, or omnivamp.
I have something to say before we go.
Okay.
Out of the 3 characters that are attacking specifically with this, I understand that change is needed, but I'm not really happy they didn't implement any changes, especially between you cannot agree with me, but I think between Sebakok, Crunch, and Countess is the one that is the weaker from those 3, because even though Sevarog If he loses part of his healing, he's still super tanky because of his passive. He's gonna be tanky and very mobile. Crunch, more of the same. He doesn't have healing, but he still has a lot of CC in his hand and a lot of damage. Countess, even though she still has damage, she's the easiest to. She doesn't really have a lot of going on for her. She only has certain damage, and I think it's already complicated to do that amount of damage unless you are like super uber fed and you're already dominating the match. Like, I highly hate that they didn't address any changes for any of them, or at least for her, which is I think the underperforming one. I don't know. I don't like this at all.
I totally agree. I mean, the person
And
that
I'm
was
more
kind
angry.
of no, you go ahead. You can finish. You go ahead, finish.
Okay, and I'm more angry because the elephant in the room. These patches are gonna be 3 weeks. So you're telling me for 3 weeks, a full item which is Life Binder is gonna be even more useless. I count this, and it's gonna be super useless for those. Well, not super useless. They still can do things. I may be exaggerating, but like the long we are gonna play longer these patches, so it actually worries me they didn't address this beforehand, at least for her, or a few then changes to Serath and Crunch. I don't know.
I do agree. I mean, honestly, a lot of that heal, like Countess does heal quite a bit, but if you belt anti heal, it wasn't as pronounced. But like Crunch, his healing on top of his damage and his CC, like Wisdom was saying, I've seen it, he's seen it, didn't seen it. You can see Crunchers fucking take on a whole team just because they're life stealing through the whole fucking team and not giving a shit.
Yeah, and I think there are times where Countess's healing is a little much. That's my opinion. I know you and I are on very opposite sides of the coin, but like I do agree with you that she's not the worst offender. Yeah, she's
the weakest of these three.
Yeah, it's Crunch and Sev specifically. Yeah, their healing certainly needed touched. Countess, I care less, but certainly the other two.
The other two. Well, continue.
So we have our first hero that is getting a buff, which is Decker. So Decker's ability to become rather... Oh no, it's a buff and a nerf. A little bit of both.
It's a shift.
It's a shift.
Balance.
So Decker's balancing the character. Decker's ability to become rather durable in the later stages of the game can make her overly difficult to punish when paired with her natural elusiveness. We're looking at your passive, Decker. We're looking at your passive. To better accentuate her strengths and the weaknesses, they're going to drop some of the natural armor growth that she receives, and then shift some of the damage output in her early game to her Photon Disruptor to emphasize her wave clear and a more to emphasize her wave clear and a more dodgeable spell. So for anyone that is not aware, Photon Disruptor is the giant beam that she shoots out. They're basically giving it a little bit more damage so that she can help a little bit more with wave clear. Let's be real here. She's not going to use it for the wave clear. She's just going to hit you with the ball, hit you with the Photon Disruptor, now does a little bit more damage.
At least in the early levels. It actually overall does less damage at the last level.
True. Fair enough. I haven't actually looked at the stat changes here. So, the armor growth is being decreased from 3.8 to 3.5. Photon Disruptor, the damage is being changed from 80 at rank 1 to 90 at rank 1. And then it's going to, before it was at 260 at max rank, and it's going to be at 260 before at max rank, and then 250 now with the change. So you're going to get more damage early on, but losing a little bit of that damage as the game progresses. 10 damage difference at the max rank for the ability. Stasis Bomb, your right click, they're decreasing the damage, which I am okay with. I mean, honestly, yeah, Decker has been a little bit more tanky, but the biggest issue with Decker is that she can outbox mages and carries. A support should not be doing that. The name is support, not carry. Decker can hit you with her full kit and almost kill certain carries. That should not be a thing.
Yeah, supports do too much damage.
And keep in mind, that was with her. She didn't even have to go full damage to do that. She could go her basic tank support build and she could still almost 1-0 you. Like, she just had a little bit too much damage.
Yeah. Bellica too.
You hate Bellica so much.
I really do. Well, no, I don't hate the character. I hate the fact that she's been shadow buffed 10 million fucking times since release, and now she's completely overpowered with the numbers. That's what I care about.
Our next character that we're looking at here is Drongo. So he's receiving a bit of a debuff on his ultimate. They're increasing the cooldown on the ultimate. It looks like they're increasing it by just 10 seconds at rank 1. And then it's going 5 seconds at rank 2, and then it's the same at max rank of 80 seconds on the cooldown. The reason for this is apparently Drongo's general versatility leads to a strong early game. As a result, his ability to clear waves, duel, and blast out of danger, making him difficult to keep up with. By increasing the cooldown of his shrapnel cannon, they're looking to provide slightly longer windows of vulnerability between ultimate casts, better allowing him to be caught out in those intervals. I don't think 10 seconds is personally enough. It should be at least 15 or 20 seconds, but that's just my personal opinion.
Let's continue because I wanna undress a whole thing that I keep thinking in this patch, but let's go with Feng Miao.
We have Feng. I'll say Feng Miao too, Hamilton. Feng Miao is health change. So precision strike, his passive. Percent current health damage is changed from 8% to 6, 7, 8, and 9% at levels 1, 6, 11, and 16. His Guardian Shield, which is his Q, is getting a decrease from 100 at rank 1 to 90, and then 240 previously. That is now changing to 230, so it's losing 10. Yeah, you know what? A really good Feng Miao that knows how his kit's working, versing him either in the offlane or even just having him in the jungle, if he knows what he's doing with his Q and with his passive, it's very insufferable. You could be hitting him with ability and he just eats it.
This is a hard solo lane nerf with the passive that it actually has to scale up, because he was just doing way too much and very quick trades, and it was hard to trade back if it was a Feng Miao that knew what he was doing.
Oh yeah, he would just activate his Q, walk up, E, and back up. Or dash out if he needed to.
Yeah, so this is a good change.
Gideon. He's getting a buff. They are bumping up the damage on the giant meteor from his rift, Cosmic Rift. Magical power scaling increase is going from 65% to 70%. So he's going to be doing a little bit more damage on his rock drop. Our next hero here is Chimera. They are decreasing the damage on Unleash. I can see why. Chimera has been kind of he's been performing really, really well recently. I think he's arguably one of the better junglers right now. I actually would even argue probably the best jungler right now.
Yeah.
He's been doing a lot of damage. His being able to just keep up with healing with his passive and then doing a decent amount with his Unleash makes it very, very, very easy for him to just snowball out of control. So Unleash's damage is decreased from 10, staying at 10 and rank 1, but then it loses 1 point of damage at rank 2, then 2 points of damage at rank 3, 3 points of damage at rank 4, and then 4 points of damage at max rank. That isn't a huge change, and I'm not sure if Chimeras are really going to feel it that much, because that's not a... I think they probably should have touched the scaling rather than the base damage on the ability. I don't think you're really gonna... That's just Ometa finagling on stats, honestly. Where they'll do those little very micro buffs or debuffs that make no sense.
Talk about that at the end of this, I think. More in depth.
Next is Kira. So the cooldown on her Shadow Glide is being decreased from the 20 seconds that it is currently at to 18 seconds at rank 1. At max rank, it used to be 14 seconds and is now getting reduced to 12. So you'll be able to use your dash a little bit more often with Kira. Purge, which is her ultimate, they are increasing the physical power scaling from 330% of the physical power to 360%.
Fine change.
Yeah, it's an okay change.
Her ult felt like baby damage as of recent, so yeah, it's fine by me.
I guess Wisdom is happy to see this. Bellica!
I'm also happy.
A lot of people are happy about this. So, in general...
It's not enough.
No, it's not, but it's just something. Her base physical power is being decreased from 54 to 53. Her physical power growth. Yeah, physical power growth is being decreased from 3.2 to 2.9. Seismic Assault, this is her knock-up. The magical power scaling is being decreased from 75% or 70% to 65%. So you're taking 5% off, decreasing the damage the knock-up does. The next ability that's being touched is Void Drone. The mana cost is being increased from 60 at level 1 to 80 in the new patch, and at max rank it is staying the same. Okay, so it's a 5 mana increase overall per rank. Pretty much, yeah, consistently. Just 5 more, yeah. I mean, yeah, that isn't a whole lot that they really did to her. They took a little bit of damage off of the knock-up. Void Drone costs a little bit more mana, but honestly, most people are building Time Warp anyway, so you're not going to really care about the mana cost that's coming from Void Drone. And the physical power decrease, I guess a lot of people must have been going like carry on her with physical damage, and they're trying to
just make her autos hit less hard.
Yeah,
to be honest, it's like that's fine, I guess. It
was once more.
Let's continue. Let's continue. Let's finish this, and then we go or final wish.
I know.
Whatever.
So phase. Phase is getting mana regeneration decrease from 1.8 to 1.6, and an armor growth decrease from 4 to 3.6. So she's not going to be less tanky and have a little less mana coming back into her mana pool. Her first ability, which is her Q, Psychic Flare, which is the blind. The magical power on that is being increased from 75% to 80% for the scaling. So there's getting a little bit more damage on the blind, which I guess is kind of nice, but again, that's not going to mean that phase is going to now be able to go at mid or solo lane, because you're going to have to get into a kissing range to be able to get that little damage increase onto the blind. Our next hero is Revenant. So the basic attack time at levels 1 to 18 is being increased from 1.01 to 0.78 and to 1.01 to 0.84. The physical power per level is being decreased from 2.8 to 2.4. So Revenant's not going to be hitting as hard with his autos, and it's looking like Revenant is shooting just a little bit faster in between shots here. They're decreasing how long it takes for him to shoot, which I'm fine with. The pauses on his autos they feel a little long, so I'm okay with the slight decrease on them. Obliterate.
I think these are actually somewhat decent nerfs or in quality of life changes.
I agree. Obliterate. So they are increasing the cooldown from 12 to 14 at rank 1, and it was at 8 and is being increased to 10 at max rank. Hellfire rounds, you right click. The missing health damage scaling is being decreased from 0.7 to 0.5. And Reckoning, they fixed a bug where the root duration is now lasts 0.5 instead of 1 second. Never really noticed that, but yeah, the root's only supposed to last for a half second, not 1 second, and they've hopefully fixed it with this patch. Oh boy, that's a lot of text for Twin Blast. Twin Blast is strong, so I can understand why the changes are coming out. Like every game, you see Twin Blast. Twin Blast will be there. Twin Blast is very, very good. So, that's a fucking typo right there. Growth scaling at levels 1 to 18 have increased from 59% to 141% to 73% to 127%. Base mana regeneration is decreased from 1.8 to 1.5. So he's getting less mana, and his... I guess that's growth scaling. Is that health they're talking about?
I think it's his the hidden number in the background that determines like how much their stats actually go up by.
Okay. Oh, okay. That makes sense.
I forget what the number is called. It's I'll remember at some point. Keep going.
Double shot. The basic attack bonus physical power scaling is being decreased from 100% to 90%. Vaporize. The mana cost is increasing by 10. Evade, which is his dash. The cooldown is decreased from 18 and staying at 18 at level 1 but at max rank, it is losing 2 seconds. So you'll be able to dash a little bit sooner, which honestly, he already dashes enough as it is. And with his passive reducing ability cooldowns, I feel like that's a bit of a weird change. Vortex Grenade, your right mouse button, the damage type is being changed to magical now. The total physical power scaling is being decreased from 90% to 75%. That's a little weird. Okay, so it's doing magical damage instead of physical, but it's still keeping the physical power boost. I think they meant to
so.
I think they meant to change that to magical.
Yeah.
If I had to guess. Ventilate. The base number of bullets is being decreased from 25 to 22, so he's not shooting as many bullets when he ults. The damage per bullet is being decreased from 12 and staying at 12 at rank 1, but it's losing 1 point of damage at rank 2 and 2 points of damage at max rank. The number of bullets for the attack speed scaling is being decreased from 6% to 4%. The bonus physical power scaling per bullet is being decreased from 16 to 12, and the magical power scaling is being decreased from 15 to 10. This is kind of nice. Honestly, the on-hit ability build with Twin Blast is so strong. So these little changes to bring that damage down a little bit. Wolf Force Twin Blasts now change up the builds. You're not just going to have every Twin Blast building the ability damage build, because that's just the optimal build for him right now. Next, we have items. So first thing we're starting off with is crests. So we have Witch Stalker. Witch Stalker's ability to stack its bonus damage from multiple debuffs being cleansed could result in scenarios of extreme burst healing. They're going to limit the bonus damage on cleanse to a single debuff to make Purifying Strike's damage potential less variable and overwhelming in scenarios where multiple debuffs are being removed. Purifying Strike additional bonus damage is now limited to just one debuff. Before, if you had multiple debuffs, you could cleanse all of them and get bonus damage for each debuff. Now it is being limited to just one, so there isn't just massive burst healing that is happening with that crest. Sapphire Mantle was providing too much durability on activation when it already comes with a powerful benefit of increasing your hero size and therefore the general range from your abilities because you're a little bit bigger. And so they're going to pull back on some of its durability and bring its strength into, which is going to give strength to other crest choices. Honestly, when it came to the tank crest or the Titan crest, you were going Sapphire Mantle. You weren't really going with I forget the name of the spiked pauldrons.
Razorback.
Thank you. Razorback and Saphir Boots.
Some people went near Boots.
Some people. Mostly though, you were seeing Sapphire.
I think you still will. This is just the temporary buff.
It is temporary. So Alice's maximum health, the temporary health gain is decreased from 18 to 15%. So it's still going to be providing the permanent health when you activate it. The temporary health that you get when you activate the ability is being decreased by a couple percentage.
I think this is fine considering its pick rate, but this is one of my favorite items in the game actually because I just think it's a fun item. It's fun to use.
So here we have an item that they are specifically labeling for carries, which is Ashbringer. Ashbringer has seen a very minimal play, typically as a result of its high gold cost and now unappealing. That makes it very unappealing. It is the majority of the rosters have been being weighed against other options. To better define its identity, they're shifting back the critical strike option for carries to utilize and streamline its passive effects and stat line. This allows us to make the item cheaper and more accessible, as well as making it a relevant DPS choice for anyone looking to pump out more abilities such as Serath and Crit Maras of the that's me, baby. Crit Maras of the world. I'm kind of okay with this because also tagging on with crit builds kind of disappearing with the new I think it was patch 10. No, it was either patch 10 or patch 9. I can't remember. But the only person that was really building crit was Revenant. Everything has kind of shifted to an on-hit ability for most carries. And because of that, items like I believe it's Wharton's Faith that reduces crit damage kind of made it irrelevant unless there was a Revenant in the game. So now making this, giving Ashbringer its crit back and hopefully promoting more crit builds to come along. It's also going to give more avenues for tanks to build Wharton's Faith in games and kind of bring that item back. I'm going to try to streamline a little bit because this video is already running on long enough. If you want to see the face changes. Just pause the video and read over that. Next item that is being changed is Kingsbane. They're giving a light bump to the Omnivamp to Kingsbane as it's the only compensation buff arising from the lifesteal mechanic changes. The Omnivamp increase is going up by 1%, so it's going from 5 to 6. Next item is Sky Splitter. They think it's a little bit too cheap for the overall strength and what the item is giving, so they're giving it a bit of a price increase. It's going to cost 100 extra gold if you want to buy the item. Next, we have Stormbreaker. So Stormbreaker does not function well as a first buy clearing option for junglers due to its resilience on other item pairings and relatively low AoE damage output. To help it stay attractive compared to other options such as Overlord and Malady, they're to better facilitate on-hit heavy heroes such as the newly arrived Serath, they're giving its zap effect a little bit of an extra kick against monsters. As a result, Stormbreaker will serve as a better standalone option and a better fill the void where you lack the gold to get your new item online. So the zap damage is now doing an additional 100% damage just to monsters. I'm not sure if that's only going to be jungle camps. That damage increase is not going to be happening as how I'm reading it here. It's not going to be affecting minions in lane. This is just specifically for jungle camps. It's just they're trying to give junglers an extra avenue of cleave damage, because if you're a tanky, you're going Overlord. If you were squishy, you're going Malady. Occasionally you go Mind Razor because it also has an AoE aspect to it, but it was typically Malady or Overlord. They're trying to shift Stormbreaker into that, basically providing an attack speed boost AoE clear for junglers. Just another avenue for clearing camps. Assassins, Infernum. So Infernum's burn damage scales slightly too well in the late game, so they're dropping it down a peg. The passive Cinder is receiving a decrease to its physical power, and it's being decreased from 100% to 90%. For fighters, we have Bonesaw. It's providing too much durability and health scaling, so they are they're actually increasing the physical power from 20 to 25. They're decreasing the health by 50 from 600 to 550, and Colossal Sunder's maximum health scaling is being decreased from 3% to 2.5%. For sports, we have Hexbound Bracers that is receiving a change. The slight shift in Hexbound's durability and more towards its mana generation. Should be regeneration, but whatever. Abilities to prevent its users from becoming too tanky in the early game, given how much haste it's providing. So they're decreasing the armor by 10, and the mana reactor, which is its passive, the mana conversion, is being increased by 5% to 15% overall. Here's the list of bug fixes. If you want to read that, just pause this video and give that a quick read. I'm just kind of streamlining this a little bit more. And that's everything we have for this patch. What is your thoughts, fellas?
Weak. Very weak. As usual with Ometa. Just light slaps in the wrists for the most part, and barely any item changes. Like, I just think they need to stop being so scared.
Yeah. Like,
yeah.
Overall, the changes finally, at least on this patch, I feel like they are heading in the right direction. Like, they are attacking certain things that you can say that are overpowered. They're actually listening more to the community, I will say. But the biggest issue is that not only are we gonna play this for 3 weeks, that's the biggest issue, that is that the changes are very, very little. Like, this we are in early access. Like, why are they so scared to break things up a little bit? Like, the numbers are very minimum. I don't know if they don't want to change the numbers. I don't know, bring something more interesting. Like, why all their patches is basically a little point less, 10 a little bit here, 0.1 less, woo, and a bunch of paragraphs that are kind of useless, to be honest. This was the moment to prove us that they can deliver a big patch for 3 weeks, that we're gonna play this for 3 weeks and we're gonna love the changes. Like, sadly, I was already like kind of expecting the same thing. So this already put us in a way that season 3 is gonna be season 2 but longer, and I'm not really very happy.
I have to disagree with the complete doomer attitude, because while I agree that the patch is itself is weak. I think overall, in this season, it's going to be way better than season 2 because of the things we're getting. Just hero masteries alone, or whatever the hell they're calling them. As I mentioned before, I think is going to be massive. So in no way is season 3 going to be equal to or worse than season 2. But I do agree that you can go a little harder on the numbers. It's not going to kill you.
Yeah, like once again, we're in early access. Like, what's going on? What's wrong if you break it? Like, break things up. Like, I don't know, fucking. I am, and also the biggest issue in the changes, like they are going in the right direction, but also my biggest annoyance with how characters are in this game is that they are too scared to give them a solid identity to characters. Like, one character, I don't know why they like it that they can be everything at once. Just for instance, look at Rampage, look at Decker. Decker, for example, in League of Legends, she should be uh, a hero that has a lot of CC and she's very evasive. But what's the issue in Pred? The issue is that not only she's very evasive and she has a lot of CC, she also has a lot of damage. Why? She's a support.
She's also very durable.
She's very durable. Like, she should be this squishy character who is very big on CC. That should be her identity, and I still think about it. Or for example, Rampage. He should be this big tank person that has CC, has a lot of stuff. Why he has a lot of damage? The same with Steel. He has all the CC, but for some reason, even if you are going full tank and you start playing Steel, you still have a lot of damage to the characters. Why? They don't really give the characters an identity. Like, okay, you're gonna be a glass cannon. Okay, you're gonna be a CC machine. Okay, you're just gonna be a tank. But for some reason, the characters have a lot of everything in so many ways. And the worst part is that not all characters have the same treatment. Look at Howie. Howie, his identity should be like an artillery mage with a lot of utility and somewhat a lot of area coverage. He's right now very, very meh at both. He doesn't really, he's not really a threat in his CC, and he also doesn't do a lot of damage. So he's just basically meh in both sides.
For your average player, perhaps.
Well,
yeah, we're more or less not speaking for the pros. We're just speaking for most of the player base, which would be the casual average Joes.
For the logic of the gameplay, basically. That's my biggest issue. They are so scared to give characters an identity. Like, look at Larvash. I like Narvash because he's overall a well-designed character and a well-balanced character. He works as a healer, kinda tankish support. He doesn't have a lot of damage. He cannot 0 to 1-shot you. He's not super durable. He's there to heal and be that healing support. Like,
I think that's too narrow, though. Like I think you can. I think you can flex a little more than that. For the most part, I agree with you, but I don't know. I feel like every hero, for the most part, is kind of unique in their own way. And I'm coming from Overwatch, where every hero really is super unique. I feel like, I don't know, when I play a Rampage, I'm definitely playing a Rampage, not a Kai or a Fang Mao or a Kalari, you know? So I guess I disagree with you there because I feel like the heroes are pretty unique.
One thing is, like I said, like one thing is the kit. Like I don't really, even though I still think they should rework a lot of heroes.
I can agree with that.
The thing is not that they don't feel unique to each other. For example, a Muriel is not the same as Narvash or whatever, or a Gideon, of course. They are different, but the issue is that they don't have an identity as a class or as something they can do outside. Like, yes, they are tanks, they are assassins, but that identity kind of dissolves when, once again, for example, like Decker can build damage and do something, and she does a lot of damage just because she can. Like, then she's not really how do I say? She's not really as only support, you know? I don't know, this is just me. Like, I would prefer for them to be more specific to their characters.
I think
each one
I think it's wording that we're disagreeing on here. I think every character has its own identity, but I agree in what you're actually saying is that every character should specialize a little more in their roles. Like, for instance, Richter can play 3 lanes.
Yeah.
Or 3 roles. That's a lot that a character can do. You know? Like, I don't think it's that much of a problem, but in mages, most mages can be a supporter offlane if you know how to do it right, you know? And most supports, guess what? They can usually go mid lane too. If they're not a tank. So yes, I do agree with you that they should probably specialize a little bit more, but I do think they each have their own identity.
As a MOBA veteran, I totally know where Din's coming from, because in most MOBAs, and like Wisdom was saying with Overwatch, where characters are very, very unique. I'm just gonna pull a character from Smite here. Look at someone like Serath. So Serath is a very high elusive, high damage character, but she was also very squishy, which is why she was super elusive. Yeah, you could build her tanky, but you were effectively useless because, yeah, sure, you were super, super tanky, but now you weren't killing anything, and your whole elusive bit, it's like, whatever. What's the point of being super elusive if you're super, super tanky, right? Her whole stick was, I do a lot of damage, but I am very mobile and very elusive. So my whole thing is, I want to get in there, cause like disarray, confusion, and get out, because if I stay, I die. From League of Legends, we have Yasuo. Yasuo is a high mobility, high damage character. If you built them tank, it made no sense. Your ultimate, your Q would do no damage, and you're basically, yeah, you had a little bit of utility. You could suspend people in the air and keep them locked down for a couple seconds, but other than that, you were completely useless. His whole thing was, I'm super fast, I go in, I do my damage, and then I back out, and I wait for my cooldowns, and then I go back in. Dota, you have Bloodseeker. Bloodseeker's another elusive, squishy character in that game. His whole thing was, I have one target that I want to target. I pop my ultimate to basically get a movement speed buff, increase, and lifesteal against a certain character. I basically want to go in, kill my target, and then I want to leave, because if I don't leave, I die. So I see where Din's coming with the whole character identity, but I think there's actually a bigger problem with that, and a couple of streamers have touched base on this a little bit, and I've seen it as a very experienced mobile player. Items give way too many stats. Items need to be reeled in a little bit more, and they need to be giving a little bit more specific stats. There also needs to be more items in the game. I know that this game is in early access, and that might come with time, but there's too many items will give too many things, and it makes certain items really, really strong. Pinzo might disagree with me, but Braid at one point was very, very strong. It gave so much mana that I was literally building it on my carries, I was building it on my junglers, I was building it on my offlaners, I was building it on my supports and mages, because it was just really, 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 really good. It was stacking globally, regardless if I got the kill or if I assisted. As long as somebody died, I was getting more mana back, which just allowed me to stay in lane and poke people away, and they couldn't do anything about it because I just never ran out of mana. So I think specifically items, there needs to be more items, more variety in items, and the stats need to be reeled in a little bit, because yeah, items right now are a little bit bloated with stats. And I think if that gets adjusted first, that might fix Din's issue that he's having right now with characters' identities, because I think the characters do have identities. The problem is that items giving so many stats at one time allows them to be whatever they want to be.
That I can agree with. I really do think it's the items that allow these characters to do shit they're not supposed to.
So I think if the items get changed and they get reeled in with what stats they give, but we're still feeling like, say, Decker is still feeling very high damage, high tanky, high elusive, then yeah, we should probably take a look at the kits of the characters and tweak the stats so they fit what they're supposed to be. It's like in the highlight for Zarus. They said Zarus is supposed to be a high mobile bruiser of character. He fits that perfectly. He's high. Well, other than his damage being a little bit on the higher end sometimes, but he fits that. He's very fast. He's a little too tanky, but again, that's probably coming from in-game items. But he more or less fits what he's supposed to be. So I think if items get tweaked first, and then we reassess the character kits to see if they can still do every role in the game, then there should be some changes.
I agree. Because we already can tell it there's a problem. If, for example, in mages, every single mage should build for what's the name of this item? The one that is Mega Custom. Mega Custom is being literally the demanding being built for mages. Almost all the mages build are the same. So if you don't think there's a problem with that,
yeah, dude, mage build has been the same since release. I'm not gonna lie.
Yep.
Like it's obviously it kind of depends, but like full pen build has not changed, except for maybe when World Breaker got shifted. That's it. But yeah, I don't think there's been a game of predecessor, no matter what elo, that Megacosm has not at least shown up on one team in like 3 months. It just doesn't happen.
Yeah, it's pretty much first buy. Like,
yeah.
Okay, now we go with Serath to see.
Now we got Serath's trailer. Let's make sure this is playing in the highest quality. Sorry, guys. Look at that ass.
Oh my god.
I'm glad you said it. I was thinking it.
She's so pretty.
The fallen angel is back with a vengeance, ascending the murky darkness.
Look at that damage, man.
Evil in her search for justice.
Are we who?
Serath is a hard-hitting celestial warrior, preferring to
look
roam
at that.
the jungle
Yeah, okay, I guess the
and
red was in them
ability to
too.
Facilitate the perfect gank. As angelic and virtuous as she may seem, though, Serath hides a ferocious dark side that takes over with every foe she slays, transforming this seraphic soldier into a flaming warrior of malevolent might.
I like that.
Her primary
that lead.
ability is Heaven's Fury, where Serath vanishes and unleashes a barrage of 5 attacks to enemies in the area, applying on-hit effects and reappearing at her initial target's location. During this attack, Serath becomes immune to crowd control, so it's perfect for dodging key abilities or closing the gap between her and her target.
Are we who?
Serath's secondary ability,
no.
Ascend, has
You
her
can't
fly
even
up
put her
above
away.
the battlefield and target an area below, before crashing into the ground.
You'd have to wait
dealing
till it's
damage
over.
to all enemies in the vicinity. She
Are
can
we
use this as a way to chase down targets, disengage from
I'm
fights,
gonna hate
or
this
tackle
character.
higher or challenging terrain on the field.
I'm
to
never
make
gonna
a
be able to
quick
lock her
escape.
down as Howie.
Chastise is Serath's alternate ability, propelling her wings in front of her with devastating force. Successfully hitting a target will slow them for a short period, giving her ample time to get out of a tricky situation or go in for the kill. This ability also resets the cooldown of her basic attack, meaning she can chain these together for some serious burst damage. Her passive ability is Fallen Grace, where remembrances of slain enemy heroes are left behind for her to consume. When Serath steps through the visage of a hero she's killed, her basic ability cooldowns will reduce, and her ultimate ability, Heresy, will
I think it's just a passive
automatically
taco
activate
based
free
off that.
charge.
Yeah, based on what he just
This
said.
can even happen at levels 1 to 5 with a slightly reduced effect. Heresy is Serath's ultimate ability, where she succumbs to the darkness within her heart, dealing burning damage and significantly increasing her movement and attack speed. While Heresy is active, Serath's basic attacks and Heaven's Fury ability will apply a burn effect on enemy targets, racking up further damage over time as she burns her foes to the ground. Want to step it up even more? Try building into items that increase Serath's attack speed and on-hit damage to take full advantage of her basic attack and make the most of Heresy's burn and Heaven's Fury's
This
on-hit
poor dog has been
applications.
forgotten.
Conquer
I'm
your
telling
inner
you,
demons
she's
with
gonna
Serath.
have so
Landing
much
predecessor
damage.
September 12th.
Okay.
I
Not
mean, fuck,
with-
they were building carry in the jungle anyways with those
Also
items.
in her
Like,
mighty Morningstar skin.
One sec. Okay. First thing I want to say. Here's her recolor.
It's ugly.
It's
It's
Like,
disappointing.
It's the same
brown.
picture.
And go back a little bit.
Up
Unblur
even
off.
more.
Her normal color looks better.
Number color.
Look at that.
Full white
She's
with the
beautiful.
gold, and they decided,
And that
you know what?
ass.
For the recolor, let's give her this
Gray.
fucking weird
Ugly.
gray bronze, like off bronze color. I don't
Yeah,
know.
ugly.
that's pathetic. We're skinned so far.
Not
Morning
a
Star
not a
Jacum.
not a great recolor.
No.
Not
It's not
a
even
great-
blue.
No.
That will be even more interesting for Morningstar. Something very angelic, looking like blue and whatever.
So I do
Uh,
agree. Howie who
Who? Next patch, baby.
she can dodge so much damage from so many different abilities with her Q here, which is right here, Heaven's Fury. Like just to be able to come on, load you. Maybe
I bet she could Q Howie in the air too.
Yeah.
100%.
Kind of like Countess.
I'm gonna hate this
And
hero.
unleashes a barrage of 5 attacks to enemies in the
So
area.
she makes you feel better,
applying on
Countess
his
who?
effects and
Because
reappearing
damn,
at
she's
her
gonna kick
initial
the shit out of
target's
me.
location.
Just this right here, this
Attack,
interaction here,
Serath
dodging the
becomes immune to
stun
crowd
from the
control,
and the
so it's
ult.
perfect for dodging key.
She can, if you time that perfectly, you can miss whatever you don't want to get hit with. Steel ult doesn't matter. Steel stun doesn't matter. Howie boot doesn't matter. Howie ultimate, haha, funny joke. Gideon ult, she can disappear for a couple seconds, missing like half the damage of Gideon ultimate. Gideon rock,
Countess ult.
can't just ult. Fucking Countess
Bro.
E, like any ability that's coming your way, you have an option to be like, nope, I'd rather not.
This chick can play probably all lanes. Like, I actually think about it. You
So,
can
she-
play her jungle off. I mean, fuck, she was a melee ADC in Paragon anyways, wasn't she?
Someone's gonna try that.
Nah, she was offlane jungle.
I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure I heard she was a melee ADC, was
Melee
or at least an
ADC.
attempt at it.
I think they
Yeah,
tried,
because
but I think she
at
she
some
ended up getting
point,
classified
there was
as a bruiser.
2v1. Like I remember that in Paragon was like 2v1 lanes that ADC support versus an offlaner and vice versa.
That sounds
So I think
miserable.
she was kind of like that.
Either way, I'm pretty sure she's gonna
gonna
be
be-
flexible as hell.
I think the only lane she'll struggle with, and that's only if they get ahead, is as a support. I think if she gets ahead with her damage, she'll be able to basically persuade the enemy dual lane to not.
Yeah.
But since she does not really have any form of CC, she can't really support her carry other than do a lot of damage to.
Yeah,
get them
but
to
she
do,
can
like,
still
the
beat
things.
carry.
That too.
But yeah,
I love the verticality on Ascent. I love how
Yeah,
far she leaves up
that's
to
really
the air. I love that it's targeted.
it's too far.
You
That's
just
how he ults.
You're just
Dude,
sad it's
that's
not
how
Howie
he
ult.
ults.
You're just
I
sad
think
it's
it's
not
even
Howie
more.
ult. It's more than it's a little more than Howie ult, dude. Dude,
looks
you know what's the
higher.
funniest
No,
part?
it's not higher. But trust me, I know it's not higher, but it's fucking close, dude.
Listen. Just imagine you ult, and this bitch uses her leap to be face to face with you, and then lands behind you and just uses her Q, just completely negating your ult.
And boob. Most likely.
And boop, most likely.
Damn.
Now, I wonder if you would be able to cast Ascend mid being booped.
No, you can't do anything while boob, so you'd have to
Yeah,
wait.
it's a
But
knock.
Okay.
immediately after, of course.
Yeah, you'd be able to catch up pretty quickly. Yeah,
Damn,
I think
Howie.
even if you were to get booped by a Howie, all you have to do is leap and use your Q, and there you go, because you have a TP and you have a range dash. Like she's gonna be able to chase down people really. She's gonna be able to get away and chase people down really easy.
And La
Yeah.
Frost Serath?
Oh lord.
I don't know on that one. But yeah, nah, I'm telling you, dude, her damage is going to be nuts. I am telling you.
Go frame by frame here. Oh no, that's not frame by frame. Wrong button.
Can we talk about how beautiful is done this hero overview? I think it's way better than the last we got.
I do
Like,
agree.
the quality went way better. Like I am actually feel that I'm looking something very professional. I don't
Same.
know. And I like the narrator.
As much as I love Nobori, I like the new person that they picked for the
Yeah.
announcer. Nobori is just too much of. He sounds too much of like a dude, bro. and it doesn't sound as
Yeah.
professional and as serious as it needs to be for an overview. So I do like that change.
I think the new guy's name is Steggy. I think.
Oh,
I
that's
can't
right.
remember.
Yeah, that must be
Yeah.
Steggy.
I don't know what's
Yeah.
that.
It was the new guy that just hired onto the meta team.
Oh, I can see the quality.
He's
I
supposed to
can
be a community guy, I think, or
Yeah.
something like that. So yeah.
It fits. It's really well done. I liked it. The visuals, the audio, his accent, everything's well done in this one.
Dude, so Chastise is the only ability that also procs off of your passive when you change forms or when you ult. The AoE being able to blaze an entire team if you aim it just right is...
Wait, what Chaista? This wasn't only her Q?
No, it was Chastise and her autos.
No, I think it was only her Q and her autos that applied the burn.
Her Q certainly procced it. I'm pretty sure all of them do.
Put it again.
Yeah, can I go back to the ult? Because I think it's right. That's where it's explained.
Ability, where she succumbs to the darkness within her heart, dealing burning damage and significantly increasing her movement and attack speed. While Heresy is active, Serath's basic attacks and Heaven's Fury ability will apply a burn effect on enemy
Okay, I
targets,
guess maybe not.
racking up further damage over
So,
time as
yeah,
she
no, it's
burns
not the
her
right
foes
mouse
to the
button.
ground.
No,
I'm surprised it's not
all.
all of them.
Want to
I'm
step
glad
up
it's not
even
all of them.
more? Try building into
be
items.
Bitch.
I'm wondering about that because, like, I'm not sure if it's really shown there, but it looks like when she flaps her wings and it just sends that gust forward, it looks like it was red.
I mean, to be fair, it's an auto cancel anyway, so it's essentially like it does. Because you get
We'll
another
help
auto
you.
win
We'll
immediately
help you with
after.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? I'm actually
We-
okay if it doesn't because she would have so much damage just with that.
I mean, we can still
Racking up.
test it.
That would have been an
Infernal.
Infernum proc
Further
immediately, by
damage.
the way. If you just think about it that way, that maybe could have been why they didn't.
Oh fuck! Yeah, I actually didn't think about that.
Yeah, that would be a little much.
I'm excited and both scared for her
Yep.
release, and very and also disappointed all in the same breath. Like, what is this shit?
Dude. Come on now.
No one's buying that skin.
I hope not.
All right. Well, that went so much longer than I thought it was going to go.
You have a lot of editing
I
to
have
do.
a lot to do, so this is definitely not coming out today. Um,
Fierce.
thank you guys for being here and giving your input. That was a lot for people to listen to and either agree or disagree with us. Again, everything we said, that is our personal opinions. Shouldn't be taken seriously. That is just our thoughts. So if you get offended, that's on you.
Fight me.
Fight,
Yeah.
2 a.m.
Yeah.
Fight me.
I'll send you my 50-page essay about Howie.
And why it
so fun.
needs more nerves.
Yes, that too.
Make
I'm gonna go
Howie
Reddit
great
post.
again.
One day.
All right, fellas. Thank you again for joining me. This has been another game guide by Lord Talkwinting. Thank you for being here, everybody. Thank you for watching my video. Please hit that subscribe button if you haven't already while you've been watching this video. A lot of you actually are watching my videos and aren't subscribed, so please send me that love and help by hitting that subscribe button and hitting the notification bell so you are aware when I go live or when I release another video. That is everything, and I'll see you in my next video. Have a good day, guys.
Bye.
Bye.